Okay guys, so as promised, I'm just going to do a quick unboxing for you of the 2TB Sky HD box. So if you've watched the other videos, which I'll put a link in the description, regarding my Sky Q install, sadly it did not go ahead. So instead, I purchased the slightly better model, which is the 2TB Sky HD box, because that will fit into my existing setup and will work. So we're going to have a quick look through this, unbox it, and yeah, we'll go from there. So it does come in a, obviously, plastic bag, which I have removed because it's got my address on, and this is what you get in the box. So, excuse me, obviously, number one is just a sheet from Sky, which just tells you the item code and what it is. It's obviously just quantity one, and that's the return address if you need to return it back, or if it's faulty, then you obviously just fill out this form at the bottom and send it back, but it shouldn't be, thankfully. So also as well, you get obviously an install guide. Now again, these are pretty self-explanatory. All you pretty much do is plug it into your existing setup. It tells you all your differences between the satellite codes and that. There's a returns label. This is actually for either if you want to return it or if you want to send your old one back, because there should be a little sheet inside which tells you how to do that. And it just basically tells you what you can expect from your Sky guide, but as I've used it already, I know it's going to be exactly the same, so I don't need that. So we can just tell by the box what it is. It's got quite big letters everywhere. Obviously it's the 2TB version, and basically it's going to be exactly the same as my old box, just with a bigger hard drive. So obviously pause, live TV, record, on demand, all that kind of stuff, but the main reason why I got it is this, so we can keep more stuff. And not have to worry about deleting stuff all the time. Now this bit here is new. My old box hasn't got this. Again, it's fantastic to have if you don't have a wide connection. But for me, I use Ethernet, so it doesn't really affect me in the slightest there. Apart from that, obviously got the Sky branding at the top there. Pretty much tells you what it is. Handle with care, yeah, blah blah blah. Obviously, it just tells you some of the icons it's got there. So it's got WPS setup, Wi-Fi. Obviously HDMI, Adobe Digital. That's pretty much it there. On the back, you've got obviously the branding again, so Sky HD 2TB, and stores up to 350 hours of HD, which is fantastic because a lot of my things I have is HD. Bit of a scuff there to the box, but it is a box. That is what it is designed to do. Take the hit. Obviously got the barcode there. Just got obviously my model there, so that's the model of it, which is the latest one from Sky, and obviously the barcode there for the guys at the warehouse to know what it was. Contents in the box, so obviously Sky HD 2TB video recorder with satellite receiver, new remote. Then the remote is slightly different. I've got both of them here, so we'll do a comparison. HDMI lead, again not fussed because mine's kind of already integrated in. Mains lead with mouldy plug, and two AA batteries for the remote and user documentation. Cool. And last but not least, on the bottom of the device, again it just kind of tells you a little bit about it, and there you go. That's how you can then recycle your own one. That's what it looks like. So let's get this bad boy open. I have already, for easiness because I'm one-handed, cut this tape for us to have a look at. So lift the flap up, open it up, and let's have a look what we've got inside. So, help the environment by returning your unwanted box. Now, I would do that, but I'm giving my old Sky HD box to a friend because he's got one of the old Thompson ones, which aren't brilliant. Again, just it kind of goes over minimising your environmental impact, such as standby mode and stuff. Electrical information on the back. Oh, here we go, some specifications. So it kind of goes down a little bit what it does. Not the proper specifications, but there we go. It has got USB on the back, but I think on my last one did have it has got USB on the back, and it doesn't do anything. So yeah, there we go. So the box itself, obviously pretty straightforward. You have the flap there, which will hose your HDMI lead. Never had an issue. The pink one goes into the back of the HD box. I'll keep that for a spare, because apart from that I don't really use it. We've got our slightly better Sky HD remote there, so it's black instead of the silver one, which we'll do a slight comparison to in a minute, but it's exactly the same, just with a slight paint job. Just put that aside. We've got some Duracell batteries, which is always nice. So at least they include some decent ones and not the cheap ones, which is always nice. We've got down here, we've got the plug. So we take this little thing out here. Plug is just down there. We're going to take the box out now. So take the nice little tuck that and put that aside. Sky+HD T's and C's. Okay, I'm not really going to read that. And then you've got your plug, which is kind of resided there. So again, I'll put that to one side, as I've already got one again integrated, ready to go, and it's going to be exactly the same. So there's no qualms there. Cool. So I'll put that aside. Put all this back in, and let's have a look at the Skybox itself. So it's a slightly different design from the last one. It's got like a kind of glossy effect on it. So we're just going to unbox this. Okay, so this is the Sky 2TB HD box. Now, as you can see, it does look visually different. If I just bring in the slightly older Skybox here, it has got a matte effect. Let's put them on there so you can see. Form factor wise, they are exactly the same. Obviously, the bottom one has got a slightly different design, which is always nice. It's a glossy effect now, so that's how you can kind of tear these apart. This is the standard HD box, which everyone pretty much gets now, and the bottom one is for people who want to pay the extra for the big storage. And then kind of whizzing around it, we'll have a quick look around it. So having a look on the front panel itself, the buttons are pretty much laid out. I'm just going to take this plastic off which covers it. Might help us look at it a little bit better. So just going to pull that one off there. So the actual boxes ourselves look pretty much identical. They've both got the same. Now the difference is with this one, this is a black panel, so you can't see the LED kind of layout. But I have already used it before, one of these, and they are exactly the same. Obviously this one differently only on the front panel here is this one, the top one doesn't obviously have the WPS button, but that's because my HD box at the time there wasn't out then, because it is quite getting on a little bit. So obviously here we have the panels, which is where your Sky viewing card goes in, and as you can see I've already put mine in ready to go. So that's pretty much exactly the same. Now I'm going to turn mine round. Now please excuse it because yours won't look like this. I just couldn't be bothered to put mine back together properly, as I did try and upgrade the hard drive on it, which didn't go fantastically well. On the side of that one is a fan. I can't see behind here, so there may well, I think there is a fan on one, because I'm sure I've seen one of the kind of teardowns on one of these, so I'm pretty much sure it's the same. Now the rear is where it all pretty much happens. Now as you can see, it's pretty much exactly the same. If we kind of go down it, there's some differences have changed. So obviously on the left hand side there, we've obviously got this yellow, white and red. Now these were the old fashioned ways to get it to your TV. The new bottom box has got rid of that completely, because most people who have got this watch in HD, so those connections are irrelevant. Again, pretty much exactly the same. Now you lose your aerial connections, which is interesting, but again, I've never used it, so I don't really care. You've got a new one here, which is an I/O port. Again, not sure what that's used for. It's probably for like some kind of engineering port. But again, I won't be using that. The HDMI and Ethernet are exactly the same. Now you can see over the years of me trying to put them in the back blindly has caused them to scratch, but they still work really well. And the bottom ones are brand new, so I'm going to keep them nice and clean. It's still got a SCART weirdly. I mean, who uses SCART? I don't really know. Again, the whole purpose of it is to use it in HD, so I won't be using that. USB, exactly the same. Again, never used it. You do lose the eSATA port. Now again, there weren't actually any functionality. You couldn't actually use it, so again, it's pretty pointless. And also you lose your telephone line, which is interesting. So you did used to at one point, when you used multi-room, have that plugged in all the time, but they've got rid of that. And obviously your RS-232 port, again for engineering, it's exactly the same, so no differences there. Obviously the wings themselves, so obviously the side comes out, kind of like keeps it extended a bit, which is always nice. I think that's basically when you push your box all the way to your box all the way to the back, that stops it, that hits the wall to allow cables to still hang out without damaging it, which is always good. But apart from that, guys, it's pretty much exactly the same. So I'm going to wire it up and we'll have a look at the indicators themselves. but I'm pretty sure it's going to be exactly the same.
Okay, so this is a look at the remotes themselves. Now, they pretty much are exactly the same, obviously bar a couple of features. Now, form factor, they are exactly the same. Obviously the one on the left hand side is the older one, which is kind of worn. That's the one for the standard Sky HD box. The one on the right hand side is the one for the 2TB box. So that's a quick way of indicating whether someone's got it. But obviously I've had that remote for years, and as you can tell, it's not actually that badly worn. Apart from that little pause button there, and a couple of volume controls have rubbed off a bit. It looks in pretty good nick. Obviously the new one is immaculate as expected. Now, the only difference I've noticed really is on the back of them. So one thing you'll see, if you can, I don't know if it'll pick up well on camera. The left one has got a bit more of a hump. They do look slightly different on the back as well. Very, very minor. One thing I have noticed as well, the branding here, which tells you who makes it, has disappeared on this one as well. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's the only real difference I've noticed with them. They both look exactly the same, and that's the quickest way to tell which one's which. So that's been a quick look, guys, at the remote. We're going to jump in now and have a look at my setup itself and how it works and what the indicator light look like. Okay, guys, so the Skybox is now installed. As you can see, it is glossy, so it bounces a lot of reflection off. So you can tell if it's 2TB because it tells you in the bottom left over there. The indicator lights themselves have changed, so the green button looks, there you go, it's got a little bit of a better design there. There's your WPS, but I'm just going to show the front panel indicator, see if I pause something. So just bear with me because my box is just turned on. So I'm going to switch to ITV and then try and pause it. There we go, so the pause is now on. So as you can see, it is a little bit better. If we then play, that's how it looks like. If we then press record, and again, that's what it looks like. Just going to press record once, and there you go. So overall, guys, it does look a little bit better. Performance-wise, it does seem very, very nippy. So if I just whiz around and see what it looks like, it's very, very quick and nippy, which is always nice. Planner-wise, I've just started putting stuff in already, and as you can see, I've got quite a lot of Walking Deads on there, and we are 98%. Obviously, we've got 1.5 terabytes worth of storage there, so that should last me quite a while now. And yeah, guys, that was it really. A lot nippier, but hopefully that's because it's got better hardware, or it's because there is nothing on the box itself. But guys, this has been a look at the Sky HD box 2TB version. Any questions? Let me know. Cheers.